Okay, good morning once again. Welcome to the Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer show for Thursday, August 6th. We're going to be going over today's news headlines, and also we'll have Pelicans and Sacramento breakdown. We will have that for you in just a few minutes. So we're going to go to Alvin Gentry right now. So right now they're on live. So let's go ahead and set that up. Get this up on the screen and this screen. Let's go ahead and put all the things in. Let me go ahead and set that up. This one for Sportscaster, and we'll go over to Alvin Gentry in just a second. Get over, and I'll send it. So everything's in. All the links are set to Twitter, Facebook, and Sportscaster, and also YouTube. We'll send it to YouTube. So let's begin with today's show. Alvin Gentry press conference. So let's go ahead and play that. So how's everybody doing? Let's see. Put the share screens up.
They've been really pushing it in Orlando, especially with De'Aaron Fox healthy. How big is transition defense going to be for you guys?
Well, I think it's going to be really important. I think they played a lot of games without De'Aaron Fox, so they're a different team with him on the floor. I mean, obviously he is a one-man fast break. He does a lot of attacking in transition on the open floor. They have some wing players that can get out and space the floor, with Buddy and guys like that can shoot three-pointers. So, transition defense has to be really good.
Coach, are you surprised at how competitive these games have been in the last week and a half, and consider most of these games with teams that have already made the playoffs?
Not really, because I think that everyone down here is trying to get a rhythm established, and I think they're playing, extremely hard. I think everybody's competing at a real high level. There is no home court advantage, and I think as long as that's the case, you're going to see close games. There's not a whole lot of difference, in the best team in the league and the 22nd team that's down here, really. If you look at it, most of these are pretty competitive, and where you get the edges and when you have home court advantage, when you're playing at home, and obviously this is a neutral site down here.
Hey, Coach, Christian Clark, kerry.com. De'Aaron Fox, even for him, is putting up some really big numbers inside the bubble. Just what is kind of the key for you guys limiting him?
I think it's dribble penetration. We have to keep him out of the paint. He's very good at, getting the ball to the paint and creating shots for himself. But also, he's a very good kick-out guy as far as getting to the point and paint and creating three-point shots. For Belicia, for Buddy Hill, for they just got a bunch of guys that can line up and make three-point shots. So we have to be careful about over-helping, but we have to do a good job as far as keeping him out of the paint.
Hi, Coach. Guilherme, Café Belgrado, Brazil. Knowing that NBA is a global league, do you think that those social justice messages at the jersey could bring into the light discussions like equality and fight against racism? And in other countries where racism is very present, like Brazil, for example?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's why, one of the things you see with some of the foreign players is that they have those words on the back of their jersey, but they have them in their native language also. I just think it's really important that it's not just a problem in our country, it's a problem worldwide. And I think, that's what we want to make sure that, that we're put into light, that it's just, this is a universal problem. It's no different than the COVID-19 right now. It's not just in our country, it's worldwide. And so I think the racism and the injustice is prevalent in a lot of the countries, almost all countries. And so it's a universal thing. It's not just something that's in our country.
Hey, Coach, it's Andrew from ESPN. Two questions. One, with the early tip, how does that does does that throw off the guy's routine or anything going into it? And two, for Zion, do we have any burst restrictions today, or is he free to go?
First off, is that no, we play games, at this time, and especially sometime when you're on the West Coast and you're playing an earlier game. Our guys are, I think everybody's used to this, and it's not like we're playing at 9 o'clock in the morning. This is a 1:30 game or 1 o'clock game, whatever. But everybody is fine with that. And as far as Zion, we'll handle it like we've been handling it the whole time, and that's communicate with each other. And when he's out there, we will talk to the medical guys. They'll talk to us, and we'll handle it the way we always have handled it.
Malika, go ahead.
With it being a back-to-back minutes-wise for all of your guys, do you think about that now, or is it more about the recovery in between to play 2 complete full games today and tomorrow versus save yourself for today? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, and the only thing that we have going for us is that this game is at 1:30. We don't play again tomorrow, I think, until 8 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not one of those deals where we plan at 7, then we plan again at 7. So I think we'll have time to make full recovery. We'll be back at our hotel before 4:30 today. So I think we'll have plenty of time for recovery, and then obviously we'll look at the next game. But today, the most important thing for us is to find a way to win this game.
Anything else for Coach? Great, thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
Might as well be a 9 o'clock thing.
Yeah, like I said, these early games right now, this is going to test this team. This absolutely will test this team in the fold. So that's one thing about this 12:30 tip to tell you right now. I mean, look, sure, it's 1:30 on the Eastern time zone, but here it's 12:30 here in New Orleans. So once again, we will break down the Pelicans. So Alvin Gentry press conference just a few minutes ago. So we are going to move along. So let me get this off the screen, and we will stop the share screens. Okay, let me stop the share screen buttons. Okay, then we'll have a preview at 11:30. We'll talk about that. So let's go ahead and break down today's game. I'm going to switch the share screens over. I'm going to switch that screen over. Also, if you want to come in to StreamYard, please come in. Please press the button. I will set you in. I have the controls. I can set you in. So if you want to come in, video chat, it's for all 3 of the networks: Facebook, YouTube, and Sportscaster. If you want to come in, just come on down. We will set you up. I will look at that screen, and I can hear those things. So so if whoever's coming in here, just I will set you up. So I'm not ignoring anybody. So let's begin with today's breakdown: Pelicans versus Sacramento. Let's get that up on the screen, and I'll switch this over to. Let's see, I got to get the preview. Let's go to preview here. I'm going to preview the game. Let's see, give you the preview right now. Got to get that up on my screen, and there we go. Okay, Pelicans versus Sacramento. Today, we'll show that on the screen if you're looking at our broadcast. Pelicans of Sacramento today at 12:30, 1:30 over in Florida. New Orleans Pelicans turned Zion Williamson, and it will pay off. I hope it will pay off in an instant. Pelicans are 29-38. They are fighting for the 8th seed to get into the playoffs. So I think that's this game is very important that we win this game. I know it's an easy schedule. I understand that. But the truth of the matter is, look, when Coach Gentry tells you, look, Coach Gentry tells you the truth. Look, You can't listen to all the social media, Gauger and stuff like that, saying this is an easy schedule. That's just not the case. These teams are not going to lie down and play dead for you any time of the day. That's not going to happen. So they're going to come in and they're going to give it their best. That's one thing about it. So let's give you that breakdown. I'm going to give you the matchup breakdown. Let's switch this over to the matchup breakdown. Switch this over. Yeah, I'm going to switch the matchup breakdown over to the screen, the matchup screen. We'll have it up, and I'll get it up in a second. Let's get this up on the screen. Waiting for it to come in. I don't know what's going on. I don't see it. Hold on. No, I don't know what's going on. I don't see it. It looks like we're having a little issues here. I don't know what's going on. Looks like the connections are going bad. I don't know what's going on. Let's get back to our goal sheet. Let's see if I can put it up back on the screen. I'll set this back up on the screen, the matchup screen. So we'll set that up for you and get this in. The matchup, let's pull this up. Okay, matchup on the screen. The share screens are sharing it, so you'll see it on all three of the networks we're talking about here. Pelicans versus Sacramento Kings today. Let's give you the point spread breakdown. Okay, the point spread records. In the ATS, Pelicans are 34-31. Sacramento's also 34-31-2. Both teams are have two ties in games. In the over and under, both teams are 36-31. Sacramento at home is 14-17. Pelicans on the road is 15-17 on the road, but they're also 18-13 as a favorite. And the underdogs, they are 18-27. So that's what we're looking at right there for the Pelicans game today. So let's see. Let's see who's in here. Let's pull down the key stats. Let's break down those key stats for you. In this game, we'll break down key stats. Switched over. I don't know what's going on with my phone. Oh, shit. So let's break down those key stats. Okay. In points per game, the Pelicans are ranked 5th. They average 115 points a game. Sacramento averages 109. They're ranked 23rd in the in points per game situations. Now, points allowed. Points allowed in the game. Sacramento's ranked 17th. The Pelicans are ranked 27th in game defensive points allowed for both teams. So Sacramento will be favored in that one. Now, in field goal attempts per game, Pelicans are ranked first with 91.99, and let's see, Sacramento's 88.2. So that's on attempts per game. Now, field goal attempts, Pelicans are ranked 14th in the nation. They're that's field goal percentages. They're averaging 46%. Sacramento's averaging 45.9%. Now, 3-point attempts. The Pelicans hit 37 3-point shots. That's good for 6 in the league, and 11 for Sacramento. So they're 11th in Sacramento. So that's a difference of matter right there. I don't know what's happening with this sportscaster screen. So let's continue. Percentages, that's 3-point percentages. The Pelicans average 37.0%. They're good for 6. Sacramento averages 36.2. they're good for 14th. Also, free throw per game, Pelicans have 16.97. That's 20th in the nation, and 27 for the Sacramento Kings in free throws per game. Also, free throw percentage. Sacramento's in the top 20. Pelicans are in the top 30 right there. Now, in the assists per game, let's give you assists per game. Let's give you that. Pelicans are averaging 26.8 assists a game. That's good for third. Sacramento is 23.51. They're ranked second. And offensive rebounds. This is what the main concern right here is: offensive rebounds per game. Let's go ahead and go over this information for you. The Pelicans are ranked second with 11 rebounds a game. Sacramento is on 23rd with 9 rebounds a game. Now, defensive rebounds, the Pelicans get 35 rebounds a game. That's good for 8th in the games. And 25th for Sacramento. So they average only 32.9. Total rebounds, Pelicans are ranked 5th in total rebounds per game. Sacramento ranked 27th. And steals per game, Sacramento's ranked 15th, and the Pelicans on the block shots are ranked 14th. So that's a difference right there in game situations that's going to happen today in this game versus Sacramento. So let's see who's in here. Looks like we have nobody in there. So we are doing the shows today. So let me get back to what's going on. Stat wise, okay. Let's give you some more stat breakdowns. Okay, turnovers per game. Sacramento's ranked 12. Pelicans ranked 29th. That's not good for the Pelicans right there. Ranked 29th. They give up 16 turnovers a game, and that's the biggest concern right here in all of basketball is turnovers. You have to don't give up those turnovers in an instant, because to be honest with you, you give up 16 turnovers a game, guess what? You will lose the game. You will absolutely lose the game. Plain and simple. That's not rocket science, folks. That's reality. Let's give you more breakdowns. Okay, Pelicans are ranked 5th in first quarter scoring, so they do score 29 points in the first quarter. And Sacramento is ranked 21st. Sacramento on first quarter scoring allowed, they're ranked 11th, so that's not too bad for them. But the Pelicans are ranked 28th in giving up 29 points. Now, in second quarter scoring, in the second quarter, so they go quarter by quarter. Second quarter scoring, the Pelicans are ranked 8th. They average 29.1 points a game in the second quarter. Sacramento only averages 27.6 in the second quarter. Now, on points allowed in the second quarter, Sacramento's ranked 17th. Pelicans are ranked 29th. Now, third quarter scoring, the Pelicans are ranked 8th, and Sacramento's ranked 23rd. Now, in the let's see, third quarter defense, Pelicans are ranked 21st, so that's 28.2 points in those third quarter defensive series. Now, in fourth quarter scoring, the Pelicans are ranked 11th. Sacramento is ranked 15th. So that's a entirely different situation. Now, in fourth quarter scoring on defensive series allowed, Sacramento allows only 26 points a game. Pelicans 27.4. So that's they're good for 13th, and the Pelicans are 21st. Now on percentages of points from 2-point shots, that's 2-point that's in the paint. Pelicans are ranked 22nd shooting in the paint, and also Sacramento ranked 17th. Now 3-point shooting, the Pelicans off those 3-point shots, they're ranked 4th. So that's the top 5 finished. Efficiency shooting, the Pelicans are ranked 7th in that area. Sacramento's ranked 16th. True shooting, the Pelicans are ranked 15th, and Sacramento's ranked 19th. So that's what we break down here. So let's see who's in here. I'm watching you right now. Packme Austin, thanks for that $20. I appreciate it. So let's see who's in the Facebook broadcast. Let's see who's in. So let's get back to some more breakdowns. Let's get this up on the screen. So let's give you the last game performances. In the last game against Memphis, the Pelicans players, Brandon Ingram had 24 points. He went 8 for 16 in the game. Now, Zion Williamson, he played 25 minutes. I'm glad to see that 25-minute situation with the with Zion Williamson. Also, Drew Holiday, another guy. He had 15 points, but he went 6 for 12 in the game. He had 33 minutes. Alonzo Ball went 2 for 7. He only had 7 points in the game. He hit in 34 minutes of play. Now, Derek Favors is another guy. Derek Favors, he went 1 for 4, but he only had 2 points a game. So he's going to have to get his games going today. So he has to do that against Sacramento. So let's see what else we'll discuss. Okay, Sacramento's last game performance, DeAndre Fox had 28 points, so he led the Kings with 28 points. Corey Joseph with 9. Richard Holmes with 8. Harrison Bowens with 6. And Bodan Bogdanovic went 1 for 15. He had 3 points in the game versus whoever they played last time. So I'd say this. If we can contain those 4 individuals with Sacramento, I think we can have we can come out of this game in a clear way. So let's give you the against the spread and over and under breakdowns. We'll do that for you in just a second. Let's get that up. Okay, let's give you an injury report. Darius Miller out for the season, and Marvin Bagley III is out for the season as well. Okay, let's give you those breakdowns. 1 second. See who's in here. I gotta watch these chat rooms and all that stuff, and I want to. Okay, let's go over the over and point spreads and over and under. Okay, Pelicans are 7-0 in their last 7 games with teams with losing records. Also, the Pelicans are 6-0 ATS in their last 6 as a road favorite. Also, Pelicans, the Kings are 5-0-1 in their last 6 as a home underdog. Also, in the cold factors, Kings are 0-4 in their last 4 games when the point spread is between 0.5 and 4.5. Now the Pelicans, the Kings are 0-3-1 in the last 4 games following ATS wins, and also the Kings are 1-6-1 in their last 8 games when the point spread is between 5 and 10 points a game. So that's what we're talking about here. When I discuss this information with people. In the hot category, let's give it that hot category over and unders. In the over, the Kings are 7-0 in their last 7 games. When being a road dog, 11 points or greater. Now, the Kings also are 7-0 in their last 7 games when they're a favorite. Between the point spreads is between 0.5 and 4.5. Now, the the under. The Pelicans are 5-0 in their last 5 when opponents allow 100 points in previous games. That's what we're talking about here. That's when we break down these games. Pelicans are 5-0 in their last 5 games when they also opponents score 100 points. That's another differential right there that you got to look at. Now, in the under, the Pelicans are 5-0 in their last 5 overall. Now, in the last one, Pelicans in the under is 5-0. Last 5 games when after scoring over 100 points or more. So that's over 100 points or more in games. So the last couple of series we're looking at them right now. They did play, let's see, their series between these two teams started on March of last year, March 28th. Pelicans did win that game 121-118. They did shoot, Pelicans did shoot 47 of 95. Sacramento shot 49 of 97. Now, in the next game, that was on April 7th of last year. So this is last year now. And then going into this year, Pelicans did win the game 133-129. Pelicans did shoot 52 of 101 shots. Sacramento went 50 of 109 shots in that game. Now, in the January 4th matchup of this year, they did play Sacramento. They did win the game 117-115 by 2 points. Pelicans in that game shot 38 of 87. Sacramento did shoot 38 of 85 in that game. The rebounding efficiencies was so it was they had Sacramento had 14 rebounds. It was 51 rebounds for the Pels and 37 for Sacramento. So that was in those games in the recent meetings between these two individual teams. I don't know why we're not getting these damn screens up. I don't know why. So once again, let's see what else to pull up. See if I can pull up my screen. So this is why we talk about these games. So this game right here, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, look, if Pelicans can come out like they did against Memphis on Monday night, I think they can come out and get a victory. But if they come out sluggish in the first half, shooting very sloppy and just turning over the ball, guess what? It will be a long afternoon for the Pelicans. So that's what I'm saying in this broadcast right now. I mean, don't take these teams for granted. Never underestimate these basketball teams. Never underestimate them. So I know a lot of people will say stuff in social media crap that's just absolutely untrue and stuff like that. But the truth of the matter is, look, you got to take these games very seriously because I'm going to tell you, sure, Sacramento might not be as good, but that can pose a threat at any time. So that's what I'm saying in this broadcast. I'm very serious about this. I'm not joking. So let's give you the odds in this game. I'll pull that up, give you the odds. Okay, in the game today, we'll give you the live odds right now. Okay. Pelicans are favored by 4.5, so Pelicans are favored by 4.5 points. Let's see who's in here. Hey, what's up? What's up? We all breaking down the Pelicans right now. What's going on?
Hey, yeah. So I know Pelicans play today. I mean,
Yeah, I'm breaking down the game right now. We're going through the
when do they play?
information. 12:30, just about 30 minutes from now.
All right, so 1:30 my time.
So 1:30 Eastern. Yeah. Y'all gonna be
Yeah.
playing at 3. So it's gonna be so y'all favored by 9 points in the game. So y'all favored by 9. So it's 9.5. So Milwaukee is favored.
Yeah,
And
but I think they'll still lose because they're not basing it off Giannis is going to play limited minutes and that. They're just saying he's
yeah,
going to win.
you
So
gotta look.
don't
You
look
gotta
at
look
that.
at situations, man. You got to look
Yeah.
at these situations.
Yeah, so they're not basing it off situation.
Yes, I that's what we have to do. Look, you have to
Exactly. So that's
understand
why we
when
have to
you
think.
look at these point spreads, Isaac. You have to understand. You have to look at these records. That's what we do. We thoroughly look at this. Yes. Okay. Pelicans are favored by 4.5. Money line right now is going to be right now is in the Pelicans' favor. So 234.5 on those money lines, 110, 111. So this is the live odds that's going on right now. I'm looking on the goal sheet. So we'll give you those records. Go ahead and give you those records on those on Miami. I'm gonna go ahead and give you those. 1 second. Hold on, Isaac. Who is Isaac 2? How you doing, Isaac 2? Looks like the videos. We're gonna have to remove you and get you in again. Sorry.
Yeah.
Your video's kind of sorry about that.
Yeah, but who do you think is going to win, the Heat or the Bucks?
I think it's gonna be the probably it's gonna be a toss up. I think it's most likely
Yeah,
gonna
exactly. Again, it depends on how many minutes Giannis plays, and that's based off the coach. So we don't know.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, if the Bucks, every time Giannis is on the bench, the Bucks do bad.
Yeah. So here's their records right here against the spread. They're 6-0 in their last 6 games when favored by 5 or 10. Also, the Heat is 4-0 in their last 4 games when they're favored 11 or greater. Also, the Heat is 4-0 in their last 4 games as an underdog as well, 11 points or greater. That's on the underdog side. Now, on the cold side, Bucks are 0-4 in the ATS in their last 4 games on 1 day's of rest. Now, the Heat is 0-4 in their last 4 games as a road underdog. Now, also the Bucks are 1-6 in their last 7 games after scoring 100 or more. Now in the over, so you want to know this over. Heat is 7-0 in their last 7 road games with winning records greater than 600. That's percentages. So we go over these by those. In the over, the Bucks are 4-0 in the last 5 games when scoring 11 or greater. So that's the point spreads, underdogs, and over is 4-0 in the last 4 games as a road underdog between 0 point spread, 0.5 and 4.5. Now the Heat is 4-0 in the last 4 games as a favorite, 11 points or greater. So if they get 11 points in the game, it's going to be because of their numbers. Now, under is 3-0-1 in the last 4 games, and then 9-1. So that's some pretty good records right there. So we base these on the records. So once again, I had to break this down for Isaac. So hopefully he understands what I'm talking about when we do these shows. So once again, we are breaking down games. Pelicans. I kind of say this. Look, if the Heat can come out on all cylinders and give it a shot, I think they'll win. But it's going to be a toss-up because if Johnson, like Isaac said, if he gets limited minutes, then most likely they won't win. So hopefully that's going to be the essential cases. So
Yeah, we just glitched right there. So
yeah, I understand. So we just went over the point spread. So let's see if you got any injuries. Let's see if y'all got any injuries. We'll check and see. So I'm gonna check to see if y'all got any injuries coming out of this for this game. Okay, I'm looking at the Miami Heat and say,
yeah, I mean, look, they beat the Celtics. That was a big win right there.
yeah, you got y'all got Jimmy Butler out. You got Gordon Dragic. You got Myers Leonard, and you got also
Jimmy Butler was out last game against the Celtics. And look, here's what I have to say, right? Jimmy Butler was out last game when the Heat won. You say, oh, maybe the Heat won because they played a bad team. The Celtics are not bad. And guess what? The Celtics are not going to be like the Bucks today, who are going to play limited minutes, because the Celtics are actually trying. They're trying to get that second seed from the Raptors. Yeah. They're trying to stay at the third seed so they don't pass them. With the Bucks, if they lose, they're staying at that first seed. That's why the Bucks don't have to win.
Yep.
So Jimmy Butler didn't play last game, and the Heat won. And it's not.
And then you got Gordon Dragic out.
The Bucks are a good opponent, but they're going to play bad today because they don't need to win. So if the Heat won last game against a good team without Jimmy Butler, they definitely won today.
Yeah. So that's some stuff right there. So yeah, I mean, you got to look at those injury reports.
Yeah. So you see, you guys have to understand, right? So yes, the Bucks are a good team, but understand, Giannis, the Bucks do not need to win. They're just going to try. They're going to try strategy. What are they going to try to do? They're not trying to win. They're trying to practice because, again, they had that first seed. So they're not going to forfeit games. They're going to still play them, right? Yeah. Even though they have nothing to win or lose, right? They're still going to play the games to practice. So they're going to try different strategies and stuff, but they're not going to try to win. They're trying to practice because they don't need to win. With the Heat, they're going to win, even without Jimmy. So you have to understand. So someone's going to say, oh, the Heat don't have Jimmy Butler, and even if they did, they would lose because the Bucks. Not true, because the Bucks are playing limited today.
So, yeah, that's understandable. So that's what we're looking at. I mean, look, Vegas has a different opinion on things. I got to understand that.
They're just basing it off the teams. They're not basing it off the injuries and that stuff. So.
Yeah, so they base it off the teams.
ESPN does, but not that.
Because I get all this information straight out of Vegas. This is straight out of Vegas. So once again, Isaac just explaining to us about that. So once again, let's see if we can put the Pelicans on preview on. We'll put that on in a second. Let's see if I get that on for you. So we'll have that up for you in a sec. So I'm going to switch this over. So we will so get that up on. Look, I guess.
Yeah, that's glitchy right there. So.
Yeah, it was a little glitchy. Yeah, but it's all right.
Put the video. Yeah, we don't have the audio, so.
Oh.
Wow! Listen to this. You ready?
Yeah. Let me.
The Nets have been fine. We'll show it. So let me show it.
Oh, all right. Let me switch it.
Look at this.
Makes it feel like an NBA game where fans are actually present at the game.
All right, flawless execution there from AD. All right, let's go inside the bubble once again as our Pelicans favorites. Well, they're all our favorite. JJ Redick and Josh Hart sit down for a teammate interview in this edition of the Bubble Beat. Bubble Beat.
So, all right, let me shut this down. So
down here.
Go ahead. You want to play your thing?
Yeah.
Let me shut this off. Let me turn this. Mute this a little bit. We'll mute this. Go ahead. Go ahead with you have.
So that's big news right there.
Wow. That's from Serena.
I mean, they're fine a lot. So
Yeah.
let's show you something. This is the Marlins, because everyone thinks they're bad. Listen to this guy. Because again, the Marlins are 5-1. I'm hearing this, everything on Twitter. Oh, this excuse. The Marlins are not good. This and that. They are good. Listen to the video, right, Kerry?
Yes.
See, don't you hear everyone like the Marlins suck? Do they suck, Kerry?
No, not
Okay,
not for him with that.
They're not one of the best teams in the league. So the 5-1 record doesn't really describe them, but they don't suck.
No.
But I'll tell you who does. The Giants, the Orioles.
Yes.
Not play games.
And then the Red Sox too. You got to put them in there.
And they're 5-1 and playing good baseball and doing it without the top three in their rotation. I mean, that's pretty impressive. So dive into this tape, because I think we know, right? You know, when you look at Marlins Park, who do you know? You know Derek Jeter. You know the 3,400 plus hits. You know how he quietly hit the streets in New York. And
it's 2 minutes, so Kerry.
All right. All right, no problem.
Poster on my wall.
That's a nice home run right there.
He was a piece of my MLB when I was a kid growing up. 2-3 to hit man.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best managers. Look, he has the coronavirus. This guy.
Do you even know who Sandy Alcantara? Let me introduce you to Sandy Alcantara. He is out with COVID-related concerns right now, but he won Marlins opening day starter. All right, he was an all-star in 2019.
He was tremendous.
In 39 starts in 2018. He had a 3.74, 238 innings. Right?
It's good.
How soon we forget Jesus Aguilar? Remember him? Ooh, get to know me. He was a fixture for the Milwaukee Brewers, and then on opening day, he hits a huge home run.
Yeah, he already has 3 home runs.
Yeah.
Corey Dickerson. How long has he been in the game? I don't think people realize how productive Corey Dickerson has been. A 120 OPS plus in 8 seasons, kind of that gun for hire at the trade deadline.
That's gone right there.
Had a chance to really go in and break down his hitting style in spring training. How about their third baseman? He put it into perspective.
Our goal is to win. I think a lot of people want to try to write us off. We got some young talent, and we sprinkled in some veteran guys that really solidify our lineup offensively. And we have a pretty good staff ourselves. A lot of young guys that are growing and developing into their own.
I'm telling you, it's just not eyewash. Being around their team, they really think they got some players on their hands. He finished 4th in the NL Rookie of the Year voting in 2018 and hit 20 bombs in 126 games in 2019. But this was the story for me. Do yourself a favor, dig a little deeper on Pablo Lopez, because he was pretty awesome the other night against the Orioles, getting the first start coming out of the quarantine, and he did an amazing interview. He had just recently lost.
And they're going to go 6-1 when they win tonight.
Yeah, I hope they do.
They're looking to sweep the Orioles. So that's Orioles suck. So easy win tonight. So they're going to go 6-1.
It really started not mess with him.
Especially right now, yes, they do suck. I have to give it to you.
Out of that hotel room, he knew he had his dad on his shoulder, and he pitched an absolute gem. So listen, I don't know where it goes in 60 games, but to be 5-1, to kind of, I'm telling you, we were down there, Mike Hill, Don Mattingly, the people around. It's changed. It's changed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you guys have to understand, the Marlins, they had a COVID outbreak, so they're without some key players. I do not care that you say the Orioles are bad, because they beat the Red Sox. They beat the Yankees 1 game this year. They are bad, but they still have the capability of beating a good team such as the Yankees. And I think they would definitely win. All right, obviously, I know the Marlins are going to win now, but the first game back since the Marlins COVID outbreak, you know how they had a week off, Kerry?
Yeah.
The first game back, I thought the Orioles should for sure win because the Marlins had players missing. Why did they have players missing? Because they had the coronavirus.
Yes.
After I saw the Marlins shut out the Orioles 4-0, the first game back, I was like, oh my God, this COVID outbreak is not affecting the Marlins. Now, don't get me wrong. They're missing their all-star pitcher. They're missing their second and third best pitcher.
Yes.
They are missing their top 3 pitchers. Guess
Yeah.
what else? They are missing Miguel Rojas, their shortstop, Eisen Diaz, their second baseman. Guess who else?
What?
Garrett Cooper, their DH. Harold Ramirez, their right fielder. They missing these guys.
Yeah.
They're absolutely missing these guys.
Yes. So you got anything else to add?
I mean, you guys have to understand the Marlins are good. So, I mean, I have enough for these people, you know.
Yeah, just like I said, that's like I tell people, please don't listen to what Twitter tells you. Please don't listen what Instagram tells you.
You have to know the facts. You have to know the facts and watch.
You got to. Exactly.
Because this guy, 98% of the people that talk about the Marlins say that they're bad. 98%, Kerry.
Yes.
The 2%, such as me, actually know facts and they watch the Marlins.
Yes.
Everyone that says the Marlins suck, they don't watch the Marlins because they don't care for them and they know they suck. But they don't suck if you would watch them this season.
Yes.
I don't care what happened last season. It's this season.
Yes.
And guess what else? Again, they're missing players, so they can even be better when they get those players back.
Yes.
So let's just look at a few more tweets and then we'll hand it back to Kerry right here.
All right. Go ahead. You have the floor. So I'm just watching what's going on.
So, yeah, we're ready for Marlins baseball. We are absolutely ready today. So they play the Mets tomorrow. You know, those are my 2 favorite teams, Kerry.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be. I'll commentate those games because it's Mets versus Marlins, my 2 favorite teams right there.
Yeah.
Let's look at a few more tweets and then I'll leave. So who's winning? Sportscaster said.
Who's winning? Who are you rooting for in the PGA Championship? Tiger Woods, Big Cat, or the GOAT?
I don't know who the Big Cat is.
I don't know who that is. I mean, we're just covering that. We're just covering that. So
look out. All right, Giants starting lineup today.
Oh, I have to go look at that.
Why?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go follow that. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, follow that account because they tweet out every team's lineup when it comes out. So
yeah,
that's good. Yeah, I follow these people. They're good.
So, yeah. So
and then if you want to read the lineup out,
that's some of these names are tricky. You got Slater, Flores, Sora, Donovan Soro. I'm looking at his. And
follow this these people right here. So
yeah, I'll have to follow that. I have to get my glasses on. No, so I can see that. So that's a pretty good lineup right there for Colorado now.
Yeah.
All right. You have anything else to say before we let you go? Because I know you got you're busy today or something like that.
But yeah, you should go follow. Oh, here's the Twins lineup. So
yeah, the Twins. I'll have to do that.
So yeah, here it is. That's
yep. So
I'll hang on here for a few more seconds. Just
So I think that if they come out in the first half not sluggish and stuff like that, I think they'll win the game. To be honest with you, I think the Pelicans will win, just like the Miami Heat. If they can come out swinging on all cylinders, they can win. They can control those guys because you got Middleton. That guy Middleton for Milwaukee, he's no joke. He can shoot some the ball. So
exactly. But he's going to play minute limited too, I think. So.
Yeah, most likely going to be playing limited because they got that first seed.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. We will absolutely see. So.
Yeah, but like I said, you gotta see how they do in the first quarter, because if you come out in the first quarter looking sluggish like that, you're not going to win. It's just that's basketball. You got to
That's
be
basketball for you right there.
Yes, exactly. So tell people where they can find you, Isaac, so we can.
You can find me on Sportscaster at Isaac Sports right here. So.
Yeah. All right. So I'll see you later.
I'll be live tonight for the 4 o'clock. For the Heat game.
So all right. I'll see you later.
Hey, Bucks need a winning because Giannis is going to be on the bench the whole game crying.
Yeah. I might not watch the game, but we'll kind of we got to recap the game today. So I'll be recapping the game after 7 o'clock tonight. So I'll see you later. Okay, Isaac Elliman coming in talking about the game today. The Miami Heat taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Also, in just about 30 minutes from now, the New Orleans Pelicans will take on the Sacramento Kings. I'm hoping for a good game. I'm hoping Zion plays more minutes, because to be honest with you, look, if he can play more minutes, we have a shot. We absolutely have a shot. If we can get the AC, that will be fine. But if we don't, we're going to build for the future. We're not going to worry about the next game. We're going to worry about what happens now. That's what we have to worry about. So we'll go over some news headlines, and I will wrap this up. We're just over 50 minutes in this broadcast. So thanks to Isaac Elliman coming in, talking to me about the games. So let's get this turned off. Let's switch this over. Looks like we're going to switch this out. Sorry about that. Okay, at least we're on today. We're on. So we'll go ahead and move along. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about, let's go over some, let's go to have some interviews. We'll play some interviews for a second. We're going to go to Crescent City Sports. I'm going to switch over to Crescent City Sports, and we're going to talk about, we're going to have some interviews playing. So you can go to Crescent City Sports in just a second. Let me get that up on my screen. And we'll be on. So I'm going to go to Crescent City Sports. Okay, we got two interviews we want you to hear. We are going to be playing these videos back to back, so I'm going to be playing them back to back. So get this off the screen. The share screen's on, back on. Crescent City Sports will play Eddie Bonin's interview with Crescent City Sports. They talked about the high school football season. Hopefully it will begin this year and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and begin playing that. And also we'll have Antonio Daniels. He is the color commentator for the New Orleans Pelicans. He is going to be on the call today for the game versus Sacramento. We'll listen to his thoughts on so we'll do that in a second. So let me get that switched over. Okay, let's get that up on the screen.
Continuing to monitor what's transpiring statewide and to try to make intelligent, rational decisions about everything. It's a very tough job to be in that position when you're dealing with the lives of young people and the livelihoods and the dedication and the hard work. And everybody wants to just snap their finger and say go, but that simply isn't possible. A lot of things discussed today with the media by the executive director of the LHSAA, Eddie Bonine, who joins us now. Eddie, listen, thanks for the time. Really appreciate it. I know it's been painstaking. You probably haven't slept a whole lot recently, I would imagine, right?
Ken, first of all, thank you for having me on, and thank you for joining the media Zoom today. And no, I've been getting some rest. It just takes the long days and racing. But at the end of the day, you come home and spend time with your family, and then start it all over again tomorrow. But believe me, we're doing the best we can with what's been dealt to us, and we're going to continue to do so.
As we discuss it, I think the conclusion was one of the things you stated late in the media op earlier today, which was check back with me in 3 or 4 days. Everything we're telling you today, that could change dramatically in 3 or 4 days. You keep talking about it being a fluid situation, and it's not a cop-out or an excuse. It's true, because we're just having to wait to see what happens based on numbers, based on data, based on state regulations, federal regulations, CDC regulations, everything imaginable. There's so many different considerations. Are schools in session? Are people in school? Has the school started? And that's another dynamic that's in place, because just as an example, here in the New Orleans area, St. Paul's is a private school and they're starting school. And they play in a league with St. Tammany Parish Public Schools, and they won't be starting until after Labor Day. So there's so many different things to consider, so many different things in place, that it is a moving target, isn't it?
It is, Ken, and I think we mentioned it earlier today that across our state, all the parishes and leaders had to submit their reopening plan to Department of Education for review, and there's so many different times and places. In a normal year, let's just say a normal year, we have schools that open from this past week, the first month of Monday in May, there you go, in August until the end of August, and we still move along and do what we do with the scrimmages and jamborees and all that stuff. And by the time we get to obviously Labor Day, everybody's sitting on all 8 cylinders. So it's a lot of different variables. But as an education-based association, it's very important that we get students back in the classroom. When I say that, that doesn't necessarily mean brick and mortar. I'm an old-fashioned guy. Brick and mortar is good. But if we're going to do virtual, we're going to do online, we're going to do whatever we're going to do, whatever the delivery system is for the educational platform, whatever it is, we got to get the kids back thinking again, get the teachers back teaching again, get the coaches back coaching again, and then eventually in a patient manner, get the kids back competing again. And I think that's where we're headed, and I think that we can do this if we just kind of do it together.
So much focus is on football, and I understand that. We all do, because of the nature of the sport and how much interest there is. And yet there's so many other considerations, starting with the good news. Volleyball can get started at this stage in early September after Labor Day, and cross country, because of the very nature of the sport, can also get started. So good news on those fronts.
Exactly, and again, I mentioned that today, that we had about almost 14,000 athletes participating in cross country, swimming, and volleyball that are able to start in phase 2, which is the phase we're in now with the static group of 25 restriction, are able to start and start competing at the end of the month. So they're good to go. Next Monday is the first day of starting practices. There's 21 days of preparation and heat acclimation and things that we do to get those athletes ready to roll in all the sports. And then volleyball will be able to start practice, and they'll be able, like you said, kick in and have a scrimmage or two right there toward the end of August and start September 8th, and that week of September 7th and 8th. So they're all going. So out of the 4 sports we offer in the fall, 3 of them are there. Now we have 19,000 football players across our state in numerous classifications and divisions. We're doing it the way we're doing it, and you heard today from Dr. Stewart, who's been doing an incredible job for us, and Mr. Federico, our board president, doing an incredible job in guiding the committee, and has been a good confidant and is a native Louisianian. I mean, you were talking generational educator in our state, right down there in Jefferson Parish, in the Jefferson Parish, Orleans area. And that said, we're doing it the right way. And as you mentioned in the lead-in, a lot of people like us to be able to snap our fingers and think we should just be able to do this and be able to do that. But I think your listeners understand and are reasonable the fact that we're not LSU, we're not a major university. We're working with adolescents, and we work with, in cooperation with, the Betsy board.
No, they are not. The LHSAA is not. It's not LSU, not Tulane, or none of that. Look, you got to go through these guidelines, folks. That's what they're talking about. I mean, sure, you want everything to start quickly and stuff like that, but the truth of the matter is, you have to do it slowly and absolutely safely. I mean, that's how many times do I have to say this on Sports Talk every single day to every single one of people that's watching this broadcast, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on any of those platforms I use. Look, we have to have these protocols in place. We have to. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, folks. So, once again, Ellie Bonan talking with Crescent City Sports. We are listening to their interviews, so we're going to play it back. So we're going to play some more of it. I will come in and talk about it even more.
Board of Elementary and Secondary Ed. We work cooperatively with the Superintendents Association, the School Boards Association, and of course the state school superintendent. And we do it under the guise of state statutes. And as long as they're in place, that's what we're going to do. And I'm not going to do anything to put any of our member schools in a position where they got to make a choice of go this direction or violate state statutes. Not going to happen. We're going to stay within the guidelines and do it the right way. It's just going to take some patience, and we're going to do it safely.
We'll talk about the football plan next, but one of the things that you mentioned today that I thought was important, and I concur with you, is the fact that if you would go to the last resort, moving football to, say, the spring semester, it's a last resort for several reasons, not the least of which is it impacts so many other sports, boys and girls. Fact and point, in girls' sports, so many girls play both volleyball and basketball. You know, I'm thinking of the Country Day team here. They have stars in both sports that are the same players. And that is also true, of course, in boys' sports between football and basketball, but also football and wrestling. These sports cross-pollinate with a ton of players who play both. And it would take away from the other sports if you focused on football so much. So that's part of the consideration, right?
It is, and that's why we've gone with the plan we have, particularly with pushing that start date back, which is going to be in compliance with safety and medical reasoning and numbers. And then we don't want to get it too far back because, as you mentioned, a lot of those football players are also wrestlers, and that wrestling season is short.
Yes. Well, I'm going to say something about if we could try to get it in October, that would be something right there. To move the football season to October or move the football season to maybe March or something like that. Look, it doesn't matter. Look, sure, it's going to affect baseball because baseball season starts in February, goes into I think it's into April or May or something like that for high school baseball. Now basketball most likely will be affected as well. But if they could go with these plans of last resort, I think I think we can get football back. I think we can. But we have to, like I said, we have to have it at a later date. So I know a lot of people out there is upset and angry and stuff like that. They want to get back to normalcy. But the truth of the matter is, right now, you cannot get back to normalcy in these times right now. You cannot get back to normalcy. I'm sorry. If that was if that was to happen in the perfect world, it would happen. But it will not happen. So that's my opinion on it. I mean, once again, let's listen to what Eddie Bonan's saying. Let's play it back.
To a certain degree, short as it is, and now we're going to compress it even more. We got to be concerned about their safety. I mean, we still got winter sports to be considered. Obviously, with basketball still is considered a high risk for COVID, and that's where they fall in the same category as football and wrestling. So those are two coming up in the wintertime, and then we have which I know you've been to, these incredible powerlifting events where we got weights and bars, and I mean we got all kinds of stuff going on the floors when we work out with the powerlifting events. So all of that piece is being taken into consideration. But at any time you start the accordion effect, you start squeezing something, when you come back out, it's going to set another sport on top of another sport. And you already know, and you cover all of them. We already have substantial overlaps in between fall and our winter sport. Not so much maybe from winter into spring, but we do have a good carryover already in fall and winter. We're trying to prevent that from getting any worse than it already is.
Eddie Bonan with us, the executive director of the LHSAA. The current plan for football is simple. That is, the second week of October would be the target for starting a regular season. And I say the target because that's all dependent on what phase the state is in. And Of course, we got the announcement from Governor John Bell Edwards yesterday that it will be phase 2 for 3 more weeks, which means the next announcement would be August 25th. The hope and prayer is that it will change then, because then if you can get to phase 3 and you have a week and a half to 2 weeks where things have stabilized, then you can have a contact/collision.
And here's where it gets really confusing. What? Phase 2. So right now we're in phase 2. We have to go to phase 4 if you're going to have full pads and stuff like that. So we most likely will, I say, continue in phase 2 for the next 2 weeks and stuff like that. So that's just my opinion on it. So if you want to come in and comment about it, Facebook, YouTube, and Sportscaster, you can put your comments. For the Facebook and YouTube audience, you can put your comments in both of your comment sections. We will see them. Sportscaster, we'll see what's happening on yours. So like I said, right now the phase 2 plan is going to still remain in effect. So I'm hoping that we get to phase 3. By the time we get to phase 3, everything will start being will start solidifying itself. So let's play Eddie Bonan. Let me go ahead and play that for you.
And you could play football and thus start the second week of October with the regular season. Now, doing the math, and we all were doing this earlier today, September has 4 regular season playing dates, and then there's the 5th date, which is the first week of October. So essentially, when you're talking about October 8th and 9th, which is what we're talking about, that would be on the normal schedule, as I calculate, playing date number 6. And yet there's still the option or the opportunity to play as many as 8 regular season games. To make that happen, you've got to push everything back 4 to 5 weeks to be able to accomplish it and try to compress it. But the trade-out is that you probably reduce the playoffs by at least a round to make it happen. We're trying to make the math work here. I think that's what we're getting at is if you go to the maximum 8-game schedule, you definitely start with week 3. You don't play the first 2 week scheduled games. And then when you get to the playoffs on the non-select side where you have 5 rounds, you reduce the number of teams in the playoffs. Would that be the right math?
That is, and plus we're also trying to, and attempting to do so, and looking at dates now. That would be not targeting that second week in December that we normally have the original schedule Prep Classic. That would be looking at potentially the following week, days of that week, and or the week after Christmas. Ideally, trying to get to maybe
spell this name. Let me make sure I spell this name right.
We would look at, because we could get in there prior to any potential New Year's Day, obviously Sugar Bowl event. So that gives us that time. That would be the ideal. I was actually going to ask that question today. That would be ideal. It gives us those 8 games, and it gives us a abbreviated, but still gives us a postseason participation. Anything deeper we get into October, then of course it starts to squeeze that down, and we go from the 8-game to 7-game, and then worst case scenario would be we start on 8-9 and we are not able to expand on the backside. So we're planning that. We've got all those variables in there. But at the end of the day, what I wanted to make sure people got
when's
the start date? Here's the start date for what cross country. Here's the start date for swimming. Here's the start date for cross country. And here's the projected start date for football. Football is always unique in its own right, and it should be. That's why it's going to take longer. But at the end of the day, I truly believe that the athletes and coaches are going to get an opportunity to participate. And I'm just hoping that along the way, we don't have any major hiccups with any type of contraction of COVID. And if we do, we're prepared to handle those, as you heard today, with each case in its own merit, and schools as well. And so schools that unfortunately have a case or two, or whatever the case might be, that won't be held against them, we'll move forward, and we'll figure out a way to make sure that it doesn't hurt them in the long run.
You have to work around several issues. Of course, the Mercedes-Benz Superdome houses the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl on December 21st. The New Orleans Saints playing on Christmas Day. The All-State Sugar Bowl on January the 1st. So there's a lot of navigation there. To be able to make it work realistically, it would have to be after the Christmas Day Saints.
Look, here's my solution. Yeoman Stadium. Why not Yeoman Stadium? That would be a good option right there, Yoma Stadium. Because look, they don't. Tulane is going to be playing their games there, but the truth of the matter is that's not on during the Christmas holidays. So you can have your state championship game at Yoma Stadium. So that would be the best solution right there.
Game and prior to teams of the Sugar Bowl being in the dome and working out. So the window would seem to be, and I think you talked about this earlier today when you discussed it, the window would have to be, I suppose, Monday the 28th, Tuesday the 29th of December. Would that be correct?
Well, in the state playoffs, if need be, we can play on Sunday. We did that, if you recall, a couple of years ago in baseball. The regulations there, so we could theoretically, if we get to that position, would be a potentially move in on a Saturday, and then could potentially do a Sunday. Sunday, I think we'd start probably at noon. I'm just saying this out loud to you and the listeners. A Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. The event and you know, in that time of the year, we're in the holidays, so each day is a Saturday, right? So we can get people in the facility, and I think at that point we'll know about what capacity is being allowed in the city. And I don't know if I steal your thunder on what we're going to talk about overall attendance, as we did with Dr. Stewart today at school sites during the school year. But at the end of the day, an event or two is obviously that happened in the Superdome, and of course, this all predicates on the fact that the Superdome is still, New Orleans is still in a good spot with the virus, and things are going the way it's supposed to go, and which I think it will. I really think the people of Louisiana see the importance of staying healthy and what it takes to do so, to want to be able to watch the New Orleans Saints play at home, to be able to see those games, and also to watch, big time college football all across our state, whether it be there in New Orleans or here in Baton Rouge or in Monroe, Shreveport, wherever. Ruston area. Everybody wants to play. And I think that we need to do that. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is bring the numbers down and do what we're supposed to do with the mitigating measures and as a state and make that happen.
And you say the possibility of 3 days, and the reason for that would.
Yes. Like I said, he's saying the truth. Look, if you want to watch LSU football in Baton Rouge, or if you want to watch Tulane here in the city and stuff like that, or if you want to watch Louisiana Tech up in North Louisiana or ULM up in North Louisiana, we've got to get the numbers down. We cannot just sit here and just keep harping on the situation, but we have to do something. We have to mitigate this. We absolutely have to do it. I mean, I'm not trying to be buzzkill to nobody's freedoms. They want to holler their freedom is being trampled on and all that. No, I'm not trying to do that, but I'm trying to make sense of the situation. So that's what you have to understand, folks. So let's switch this back.
Be the possibility, and I stress possibility, that select schools would return to playing their championships in the Superdome, which did not happen last year, and that was a mixed bag. You were at the Division I game. That went off well. That was a good facility, and those are two big schools that can draw and support that. The others were, with all due respect, a mixed bag, or really not that successful. The opportunity has been extended to select schools to possibly return to playing with their non-select brethren in the Dome. And I know you're awaiting a vote on that right now, but the initial response you got was pretty positive to that, wasn't it?
It was, Ken, and what it came down to is pretty simple for me. I've had individuals say, Mr. Bonine, you've even said it to me, Eddie, I don't envy the position you're in. It's a tough decision you and the committee have to make. And I say thank you very much. But who the people that really need to have the envy right now is those principals and the teachers. All the stuff that's being thrown at them right now on bringing everybody back together and trying to get the educational process back and up and running again. The guidance counselors, all the support people of all of our campuses across our state, they're busting their tail to get this done. The last last thing a principal or principal's athletic director on any school, in this case, be the select side schools, the division schools, had to be worrying about where they were going to play their football game, who's organizing it, what athletic director is just going to do that, what principals are going to be involved. And Ken, it just made sense for us as an association who runs these events. We've been doing it for many, many years until the last 2 or 3 for the select side. Come back to the Dome and play with us. We'll run this doggone thing. We're going to set up times, and we're going to do it like it used to be in all the sports. At least right now, it would be for football. And then as this corona continues on, we've offered for football, for baseball, and for basketball and softball as well. And we've talked to the venues. We'll make it happen. We're not looking for anything other than that right now. This is not an end around by Eddie and the committee to see if we can mend the fence and try to get select and non-select out of our system and back together. It's not that at all. At the end of the day, this is about kids and principals having enough to do, athletic directors having enough to do, and giving them. And I know that right now, if this the committee, the select school committee that we hosted a meeting at our building, they unanimously agreed it was a great idea. They thanked us for doing that. We want to do it for them, and they were just going to send out a survey to the rest of select principals. It was very simple: a thumbs up or a thumb down, and we're waiting for those results. But at the end of the day, that would be something that we would look to do, knowing that the select schools are in favor of it. We're not looking for a simple majority. We're not looking for 2/3 vote. We're looking for, let's do this. Let you all concentrate on what you have to do with what COVID's brought to you, and let us take care of the championship piece, which is what we do and we enjoy doing and we pride ourselves doing for all the students this year. And then we'll decide what we want to do afterwards when it comes to next year's reclassification start process. This year we reclassify, new classification starts, and then we can talk about all the rest at another time. But right now we need to get everybody in the same facility so all the kids can have an opportunity and the principals and everybody else at their school can just concentrate on education.
A final thought, 3 weeks, of course, Governor Edwards will make his next proclamation. Yeah, God forbid if we stay in phase 2, what does that do? And does that pretty much eliminate the plan in place right now?
It does not for obviously 3 of the 4, but it does cripple what we want to do in football. And we have some tentative plans there. But anyway, you swing that, it makes it difficult to have that season where there's going to be some type of championship crown. We're in conversations with the football advisory, which are head coaches and a couple of ADs that are from all around the state, all classifications, both public side and non-public side. Was something is better than nothing, but of course we want to have a minimum standard established to if we're going to play for a championship and hand out some hardware. If not, do we play a 4-game, a 5-game, a 4-game, 3? Just something is better than nothing. Gosh, I hope we don't get there, and I don't believe we're going to. I believe what the resilience of Louisianans and what they can do here, and we need to get out of this phase 2, get to phase 3, and then continue to make progress and get this thing going so we can start playing some big boy football and get all of our volleyball and all our runners and swingers what they deserve, and that's a full season.
Yeah, the only other question before I let you go, this one's been emailed to me again tonight. I get it all the time. If school is not being attended and is not in session, can athletics take place in that particular school?
When you say not in session, are you meaning students are just full-time virtual or full-time online
correct.
students?
Yes, full-time virtual online, correct.
Yes, as long as they met the minimum standards of the Carnegie units that they were required to take in spring semester, which I believe the majority of students did, with that March date being the date that some schools finished and others did some enhancement and remediation to virtual. As long as they've got that with minimum 1.5 GPA and are presently enrolled in the number of Carnegie units and credits necessary for this semester, they can be taken in any way they can take it, and they're eligible to the LHSAA. Caveat is, it depends also each LEA, the acronym for the local education agency, on whether they have stipulations or not, whether those athletes can or can't participate. We don't supersede that. We're a minimum standard, and if a parish wants to make it a little bit stiffer, where you've got to be in brick and mortar and participate, then they can do that. They can make the multiple platforms. Some schools are going the first 9 weeks all virtual. Whatever they're doing, as long as the kids are getting the seat time and getting that education and starting to expand the mind, we're good with it, and we're not going to get in the way of that.
He is the executive director of the LHSAA, Eddie Bonine. Eddie, listen, thank you for the time today. As always, we appreciate it and appreciate you. God bless you and yours. Nothing but the best. You have a tough job, and we're all hoping and praying good things happen in the state, and it makes your job a little bit easier.
Yeah, Eddie Bonan, like I said, he said the truth. He absolutely 100%. I agree with him. Look, if you have meet the standards or stuff like that, you're eligible to play. But like I said, we have to get this mitigation. We have to minimize everything that's going on with COVID-19 in the state of Louisiana. Yes. Look, right now, so far it doesn't look too good. Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, it'll all change. But it's just that right now, people's got to understand masks has to be worn. I know it's uncomfortable, folks, but the truth of the matter is, it's for your own protection. I mean, if you want sports to come back, we got to do our part, folks. We absolutely 99% have to do our part, folks. I'm coming to everybody here. I'm telling you to Facebook. I'm telling it to YouTube audience, and I'm also telling it to sportscaster audience. All three of these platforms we're on right now. And I'm telling that to you. We have to mitigate everything that goes on. Because if you don't mitigate it, guess what? It's going to continue, and we're going to stay in phase 2. Probably, hopefully, we don't want to stay in phase 2 for the rest of the year now. And sports will start back up in the state in March or something like that. We don't want that. We want people to listen to the public health officials. What I say every time, listen to the public health officials. Do what you have to do, folks. I mean, what? We want to get back to normalcy. I want to get back to normalcy. But the truth of the matter is, we all in this together. So let's end today's show. Once again, thanks for joining us here on this edition of Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer Show. Later on this evening, we'll have Pelicans recap that will be back here on Facebook, YouTube, and Sportscast, and we will open it up to all three platforms, and you can come in and talk about the game today. The game's getting ready. It's starting right now as we speak, 12:32. So the game's going to be starting out in Orlando. We will give you a full recap of the game tonight. And we'll have Alvin Gentry's press conference. So I've been talking long enough. I know it's almost a half hour. I've been talking to y'all. So once again, thanks for joining us. Please follow us anytime. Let's give you those addresses. Okay, follow me on Facebook. You can watch the live replay of this stream on Facebook.com on my page. It'll be on public. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at TalkKerry, TalkKerry. That's my Twitter account. Also, you can follow me on the YouTube channel. We will the replay. You can watch the replay of this show on air as well, and many videos we record. Also, you can follow me on my Tumblr page. That is the official blog and page for Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer Show. You can follow me at KLW7825. Also, you can follow me on the official flagship of Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer Show. We also do play-by-play on there. Pelicans, LSU, Tulane, Southeastern, and we will do high school sports if we have a season. We will be on the air for high school football. So please follow us at sportstalk.com/KLW. And also, you can follow me on the Twitch channel, which is we'll be back there in the next couple of weeks. We will be on Twitter this coming Monday. So Twitter Monday all week, all the way through Sunday. And then we'll be back on Twitch, so you can follow me on the Twitch channel as well. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. That's on the Instagram page. Follow me at Sports Talk 2505. That's Sports Talk 2505. And also, you can follow Skype me anytime. I got the email address is on the screen. That's the same as the email. You can Skype me at that address on your screen. Send me and I'll send you send me your information, and I'll send you and I'll put you in, and you can come in and Skype anytime with me. You want to talk about anything in sports, you can. Also, for business inquiries, such as coming on this show, you can email me at this address on your screen. That's also where you can contact me anytime. You can contact me on the 2 DMs on Twitter and also Facebook. So if you have Facebook, you can contact me on Facebook DM. If you have the Twitter, you can contact me on the Twitter. So just send me a message, and I'll respond as best as I can. Everyone have a good rest of your Thursday afternoon. We'll be back later with Pelicans recap on Facebook, Sportscaster, and YouTube. So we will have that for all three of the platforms tonight. So everyone have a good rest of your afternoon.